Normally, when people use the method I just described to generate categories, there's significant variability, both in terms of the number of categories that result and which items are grouped together. The advantage of factor analysis is it does the categorization empirically based on correlations among the responses rather than just based on subjective judgment. And this is a case where the two can complement each other because even if our judgments prove to be correct, doing it with the data and doing it empirically is a good way to just double check our judgment and also to avoid inaccurate stereotypes. So, for example, we might think men are this way and women are that way, but in fact, there might be fewer differences between them and more differences based on age or something else than we expect. The result that we get in factor analysis are categories, which we call factors, containing variables or items for which the responses are highly correlated within the category, but are less correlated with the other categories. For instance, in our example, we started with 20 items and we might reduce those to 6 higher level factors, and those might be competitive sports, water sports, home activities, indoor activities, city culture, and movies. A factor score is calculated for each observation, so in our case, each person. And then those factor scores can be used in subsequent analysis. So rather than having 20 things to work with, we now have six things to work with, which just makes everything a lot more manageable. Mean factor scores are always set to 0, and a positive score means that an individual observation, in this case a person, is above average on that factor, and a negative score means that they're below average. So, for example, if you've got a positive score on competitive sports, it means that you find competitive sports appealing. If you've got a negative score on water sports, that means that compared to the average person, you're less interested in water sports. The further an observation is from 0, the more extreme it is on that factor. So, for example, if it's something like a positive 2 on competitive sports, that's quite a strong liking of competitive sports compared to if it was just a 0.05 on competitive sports.